So let me know once you are able to see my screen. Yeah.
Yes, we are able to see it.
Okay. So any questions, guys, from a previous session to discuss? Chiranjeevi, Venkat, and Shiva. Okay. So let me give a recap what we have discussed. In the previous session, we have talked about messaging service, which is available in Microsoft Azure. That is your Azure Service Bus namespaces, under which you have three categories for your messaging services: queues, topics, and release. Queues will be used for one directional communication, where it works as an intermediary. You can call it as a broker, where it will receive the message from the sender and the deliver it to the recipient. Right, we have second one is topics, whereas this is also one directional, but here it can deliver, one sender can deliver the messages to multiple recipients based on the filter mechanism. And then we have a relays are bidirectional, as it is unlike your queues and topics. It will not store any messages, it will not work as a broker, it will just helps and passes the message from source to destination and destination to source. So this is one of the topic which we have discussed in the previous session. And then we immediately jump into the backup category, where we have talked about all the use cases of using backup solution in Azure, like automatic storage management, unlimited scaling, your multiple storage options of your LRS, ZRS, GRS, unlimited data transfer, data encryption, application consistent backup, and long-term retention. So in the previous session, we also talked about retention policies, and we have seen long-term retention. It does support up to 99 years. Okay, so we have the virtual machines which are created. Some virtual machines are created. One second, which location it is? West US2, and we have one more virtual machine that got created under Korea South as well, Korea Central. So seems to be Sudhakar has created a couple of VMs as a student. So what we will do, I have already enabled the backup for VM01 and VM02 already. Backup is enabled and running. We'll use that for a restoration purpose, but we haven't done the enabling the backup. Correct, we have failed to do in the last session, whereas I am unable to select the virtual machine to enable the backup. Let's go ahead and see from the beginning again. So I'm going to create one backup and site recovery. Backup and site recovery. Click on create. So I'm just selecting this. So this is RG. Here the vault name I'm just giving as a test vault, or I can give AZT27 vault 03. Location is I want to use it at Korea Central. Do remember, guys, when you are taking a backup of Azure virtual machines, your virtual machines region should be same as your backup and site recovery service region. Okay, it should support only within the same region to take a backup. It is not possible to take a backup of from a cross region. Clear? So I'm just creating recovery services vault, which we have done it in the previous session as well. And I'm going to enable the backup for one virtual machine. And subsequently, we're going to discuss what are all the different mechanisms we do have for a restoration of your virtual machine. So here I'm clicking on backup. So my workloads are running in Azure. I want to take a backup of Azure virtual machine. Click on backup. So this is where you can add your virtual machine which are there in Korea Central. In the previous center, This is what we had faced the problem. But some reasons, although we are in the same region, our virtual machine is not listed here. In your real-time scenario, how it will look like, guys? In a real-time scenario also, here you will be list down hundreds of virtual machines which are running in your project. You need to select which are all you want to take a backup. You can search the item, you can pick up the item by selecting the button. This checkbox, you can checkbox this checkbox to select the virtual machine. So in this case, I am selecting my virtual machine 03. Click on OK. And we also discussed about these policies, right? You guys remember? We have talked about daily backup, weekly backup, monthly backup, and yearly backup, and all of the stuff. So you can change the name if at all you want. One backup solution can have multiple policies. Not like every virtual machine you need to apply the same policy. Let's say it is a dev policy, so that you have some kind of a retention period. You can have a production policy, you can have a different kind of a retention period. So these things will always will get vary. And click on enable backup. Click on enable backup. So what does that typically do? It will enable the backup for the virtual machine. So where exactly we could see the virtual machine backup and what exactly is happening, all other things, whatever we do on a backup related, you could validate them under the backup job. You could see here there is an operation VM03 configure backup is initiated, that is in progress. If you click on view details, it will also give you what all the exact operations is happening. Right, enabling backup, we cannot see the operations, but when you're taking a backup, when you are taking a backup of a virtual machine, you could see the operations. If you see now, the configuration of the backup is completed. So post which you could see them. So to enable the backup, you need to go to the backup option under getting started. Once you enable, you could see them under backup items. Click on the backup items. Here you could see a lot of options for backup Azure virtual machines, Azure backup agent, backup server, DPM, Azure file share, SQL in Azure, SAP HANA in Azure. So in our scenario, it is Azure virtual machines. How many number of virtual machines we are taking a backup here? Only one virtual machines. One important thing do to remember is that whenever you are enabling a backup for a virtual machine, you could see that the first initial backup, it will not run automatically. As per the schedule what you give under the backup policy, it will not run until or unless you initiate manually for a first time. From second time onwards, it will follow the process of the policy. If you see the backup policy, what it mentioned, it will initiate the backup, let it get load. You can see the policy, dev policy we just created. No, it is loading. So, or else what I will do, I will initiate the backup now, and then I will go to the backup policy and explain manually. So, one important thing you guys need to remember is that whenever you are enabling the backup, do remember your initial backup will not run. You could see a warning that initial backup is pending. So for that, you need to click on the backup manually, click on OK. So that what will happen? You are initiating the backup manually. That is mandatory operation for you to do for a first time. Is it clear, guys? Any questions? So this is what I'm referring under backup policies. You could see the dev policy. As part of dev policy, what is the schedule to run, guys? It will run the backup around 8 a.m. in UTC time frame. So it is automatically run as per the schedule, and it will make 30 days of a backup and a daily backup. This is the policy we have made, but this policy will not come into effect for a first time you need to run the backup operation. So post running the backup operation, you could validate them again here in this screen that what operation is happening currently, backup operation is happening. We have triggered the backup. And what exactly is happening in the backend, if you could see that, first option is it will take a snapshot. Okay. How it will take a snapshot of a virtual machine? Let me show you. Any virtual machine, if you go to the any virtual machine disks, let's say VM03, you have a disks. On top of a disk, you have an option to take a create a snapshot. So what it will do, it will take the current state of your virtual machine disk. It will take a snapshot. This operation it will happen and initiated by whom? Your backup operation will take a snapshot in the backend. Once this snapshot has been taken, the snapshot will be moved to the transfer data to vault. It means in the backend, what will happen? Your data will be transferred to the backend storage. We know that Azure Recovery Services Vault or Azure Backup Services is using the Azure storage in the backend, correct? So once after it is taking a vault, we need to move that to the backend storage. That is the second operation. So these are all the two different actions or activities will perform while taking the backup of virtual machine. Is it clear, guys? How the backup operation works? How to enable the backup?
Will it use the storage to store the backup, or where it will get stored?
It will use storage only.
So where we are mapping, like we need to map the
That
directories, like
we
where
don't need to map. So that management will be taken care by Microsoft. We don't have any visibility into the backend storage, but we know
because
that it's
storage will
using
be
cloud
charged
storage.
against to us only, right? The storage cost will be charged against to our this subscription, or how is it for this backup piece?
You don't have any direct charges against your storage. Your charges will be against the protected items.
Okay. No, no. My question is, see, initially when we, for example, like we purchased some storage for our activities. Okay, when we take a backup, okay, again it's you started using the storage, right? Will it use the same storage what we purchased, or this the storage, where this backup is placed into the different locations?
No, whatever you use as a Azure storages for your project requirement, that will not be used by your backup service.
Oh, this is separate. Okay.
That is completely separate and completely as a managed service.
Okay. But we can't go to the backend and validate backup
No,
pieces, right?
no. Only for you as a window is available is that this backup jobs window,
Only
whether
for
your backup is successful or not.
okay. Whatever we want to do, we need to do. If after successful, if you want to restore, also we need to do everything from the same page only.
Same page only.
Total
So
page.
we just
Okay.
discussed about only taking a backup. We
Correct.
also talk about in the same session today itself restore options as well. Because for
Yeah,
the
yeah.
sake of training purpose, I have done the backup enabled for two of the virtual machines already for a restore because taking a backup it will take time. I cannot explain it. You could see that 01 and 02 I already enabled a backup and you could see that under backup jobs for it is running from last 2 days. You could see yesterday's backup also around 1 a.m. It is completed successfully. You could see the details that take a snapshot, transfer data to the vault. So both the operations are completed successfully. Okay. So once you are clear with how to take a backup, and then I will move to the which are all different kinds of restore options we do have. Right. So what are we just enabled? If you could see here, still the backup operation is in progress. It will take first time it will take an hour of a time From second time onwards, it will only changes, right? It will take a backup. So that will be pretty quick.
The backup can be taken only at the VM level, or like we can go to the minute level to take the backup. Say the
My,
data inside the VM kind of.
sorry, what's your question, Chiranjeevi?
No, no. See, the backups what we triggered now is at the VM level, right? Virtual machine level, right? So can we go to
Mhm.
the minute level to take the backup? Maybe like the data in the, maybe like we have 4 disks in the VM. So can I take a a specific backup of the specific disk?
Yes, you can do that, not manually. So when you are adding a disk, it will ask you to select the which disk you want to take a backup.
Okay.
See, are you able to see there is an option that OS disk only. So if you are selecting this check marks while adding the virtual machine, what it will do, it will take a backup of only the OS disk, not the data disks.
Okay. Understood.
Okay. For your question to add and remove only selected disk, right? That can be done only with the PowerShell. You could see you can use selective disk backup feature through PowerShell or CLI to include or exclude specific disk. So over the UI, you don't have such option, but yeah, that is quite possible with CLI or a PowerShell command.
Okay, no, my question here is like on top of the VM, there will be an application running, right? If I want to take
Mhm.
a application backup or a database backup specifically running on the specific VM, how I can trigger? Because here we are just taking the whole as a VM. So if I want to
Correct.
take an application backup or a database backup for any of the changes, kind of, where I can trigger those back
So you are saying an application aware backup. It means it should know
running
the
running
application.
on top of VM. Like say VM zero
Ah,
one is the one which we are taking the backup now. On in a VM, like we'll the application will run, right? So how to take like in a database backup or application backup on specific VM?
So for application, there is no much difference of taking entire VM or application specific backup because you're already taking entire VM out of it. So whatever the application is running inside, that data also will be captured in your backup. But for a databases, it has an option of database aware backup. It means apart from a virtual machine, you could see that there is a SQL server in Azure VM. If you select this and enable the backup, what will happen here? It will discover the database in your virtual machines. Are you
Okay.
clear?
Yeah.
So it will take a backup of your virtual machine. It will take a backup of your databases also. It is possible. DB level backup also you can take using this recovery services called.
No, I've seen this actually, but my question here is just taking only couple of kind of which is running on VM. Say on the VM we can run any of the databases, right? Will it list out those databases as well?
No, for now, Microsoft Azure does support SQL Server and it will recognize the databases. Okay. If you're running virtual machine with a Postgres, if you're running virtual machine with MySQL, if you're
Right,
running virtual machine with Oracle, right? For
right.
example, it will not recognize. It will take a whole VM level backup only. You don't
So
have
if
a
I have
capability of
this, like I need to take a VM level backup. If you, for suppose if it will be a SQL Server database, I can use this feature here. Okay,
yeah,
understood.
that is absolutely correct. Yeah, you're correct. Yeah.
Yeah, clear.
Okay. Any other questions, Venkat, Siva, Harsha? So finally, we have done enable the backup for your virtual machine, and this is last backup status is successful, which is available for us. So where you could see the backup related any kind of an operations, what exactly is happen, automated jobs, manual jobs, adding a backup, removing a backup. Each and every operation can be tracked under this backup jobs, right? So for first time taking a backup, it will take some time. For that is the sake, I have already enabled a backup in last 2 days before for our training purposes. That is this AZT27 vault. Whereas I'm having two virtual machines, you could see here, two virtual machines, which I have already enabled the backup and it is available. So what I will do now, we'll see the restoration options. Let's say your virtual machine is corrupted or your virtual machine you lost some data or your developers is asking that boss, I have one virtual machine which I'm using for my development, I have another two resources came in, I want similar set of virtual machines of two more, you give me the similar copy of current virtual machine. So what I will do from a backup, I will issue two virtual machines given to them so that they need to perform any kind of a changes with respect to servers, everything will come as it is. So scenarios I'm just referring. At what kind of a scenarios you could typically perform the restoration. When it comes to backup restore, we have four kinds of restoration methods. Four types are available. Those are, first type is you can restore complete virtual machine. It means there is a virtual machine 01. It is corrupted today, and yesterday you know that the server is running fine. You can restore that virtual machine completely from yesterday's backup as a new server like VM02 or VM010. You can bring in that virtual machine completely. You can restore that virtual machine as it is VM from the backup. Is it clear? Second restoration method which is available is you can restore only the disks. Assume that you don't want a complete VM. You just restore the disk alone. From the disk, I will attach to wherever I want to the server. I can reclaim my data. Right? This is second option of restoring your virtual machine. The third option is swap the disks or replace the disks. I can name it as replace the disks. It means assume that we have a VM01, your OS disk is corrupted, and you know that your server is running fine in, let's say, 17th of May. What you can do, you can select this third option of replace or swap the disk. Your virtual machine will be there as it is, and your disk will be replaced from the backup of 17th of May. Clear? So that you no need to change your virtual machine IP, virtual machine name, everything will come as it is, but data will be started working from 2 days before. Fourth option is file recovery. So file recovery, what will happen? It will provide you one file, right, that you can run it wherever you want, wherever it does have an internet connectivity. That file will map you the disk, right? So here, if you could go to my PC, I am having only C drive and G drive. I can get one more drive as a D drive of my Azure Backup VM, right? That will add as an additional disk wherever I want. It can be my local laptop, it can be your Azure virtual machine, it can be your AWS virtual machine, it can be an on-premises VM. It doesn't matter. Wherever you run that process, it will attach that disk as additional drive to your operating system so that you can just click on that particular disk, go to the files wherever you want to recover the data, just copy it and then disconnect. The disk will go away immediately. These are all four different kinds of restoration methods which we do have and supported by Microsoft Azure. Is it clear, guys, with the restore options? We'll see all these four options practically. But before in that, do you guys have an understanding what are the different methods of restorations?
So,
Is it
is there any threshold for the storage? Can we use? I mean, is there any limit for taking backups or
no? It's unlimited.
Oh, okay. One restore and recovery can be unlimited. It's not like storage what we purchase. Here there is no limit or threshold, right?
That's where we are taking Azure provided backup. No, if you are providing, if you want to maintain your own backup methodology, so what will happen?
I'm talking about the storage. We are taking the backup by using Azure. But say, for
Mhm.
example, like in our instance, no, I mean, I'm just from the DVA, I just used to take backups and all. I the storage will be in our control, right? So if it exhausts, it will be a problem for us. So we have maintaining controls at different levels. The reason my question here
When
is if you have multiple, VMs in the subscription, keep taking backups. No, the storage will get, I mean, that's what my question is is there any limit to the storage for the taking the backups? That's my question.
no, so if you remember that when we are discussing about backup options, right? It's an automatic storage management. It means today you are having 10 VMs, tomorrow you are bringing in 1000 VMs, right?
Right.
So as we are not managing the storage in this scenario, it's an Azure manager, right? So that
Mhm.
management will be happen automatically. When it comes to scaling, let's say they are using in the back end of 100 TB and it wants
Mhm.
to go to 1000 TB, that is completely headache of Microsoft. Will nowhere have a concern or bother about it.
Okay. There'll be charged for it, right? For the number of backups we take? No.
Yes, yes, there is a charge. They will not give it for free. So the
Yeah, that's
number
what.
of
Okay.
items what we taking a backup, right? For that there is a charges. Yes,
For the
and
retention also, right? For the retention also, or only for the taking the backup?
for the data what you store typically,
For the number of days, right?
the number of days, the amount of storage.
Storage also. Okay. You mean we can do hundred? I mean thousands, but we need to pay for it. Okay. Understood.
Yes,
Thank
that's correct. We need to pay for it, but nothing to worry about the scaling or a management perspective.
you. Why I'm comparing in the earlier storage sessions, we are just purchasing the backup for our usage, right? That's what my question here is how the backup will be managed here. Understood now. It's clear. Thank you.
So when it comes to backup and site recovery or recovery services world, so it will completely take in a kind of backbone operations. It means we'll be not having any visibility for it actually, backend storage. But it will. We know that technology perspective, as per my expertise, I can confirm that they are using Azure backup, Azure storage accounts only, blob storages in the backend. That is for sure. Okay, but as we don't have any
Okay.
visibility to prove that.
Okay. Clear.
Yeah. Now,
Yeah.
whenever we are restoring, right? So it has to come from a backend storage to our subscription and a workplace, correct? For that, whenever we do the restorations, it does require one staging storage account. It means it will not store anything, but it will use it for a staging purpose. You got my point. It will use just for a temporary caching purpose. So I'm just creating AZT27 vault is the storage account. This will be used to whenever you want to restore something, right? It will use this storage account, but it will not store anything. It will not cost us anything. It will just use for staging purposes. So West US2 I'm just creating because we are going to see all the restore options from a West US2. So I'm just creating the storage, that is, let it get create. Meantime, we'll go to the vault. And as I mentioned, guys, where you can go ahead and restore. These are all four different kinds of restorations we do have. complete virtual machine, only the disk restore, only the swapping the disk so that your existing VM as it is, but data will be changed from 2 days before, 1 month before, or 1 year before, based on the retention what we have. You can swap the disk directly. And file recovery, you can do only the specific files, whatever you want, attach the disk, take the files, remove the disk. We'll see all this as a practically today. Okay, so I'm going to my Azure virtual machines, which already I have enabled because I cannot wait for a backup to be taken and then perform. So I was just using it, which I have already done. So here the backup option, which we have done it for the first time. For example, when you know that you are doing some changes just now, for example, and your backup will run in the midnight 1 o'clock, right? That Azure for now is supporting only once in a time. Like backup can be taken only once in a day. That is the current feature available. They're just bringing in multiple points in a day, right? That option is in preview. Are able to see here? Multiple backups per day is in preview feature. It is not completely available. Even I'm seeing this as part of this training. So we are having only this option. It means it does support only once in a day. So when that once in a day also will run in the midnight whenever we give as part of this policy. Right. Assume that you know that you are doing some changes or your developers are doing some changes. Say that they are doing it for 1 o'clock and they want you to take a backup. What you can do, you can come to the respective backup item. You initiate the backup now. That will run, not a problem. It is not like it should run only with the schedule, not like that. Manually also, whenever it requires, we can trigger it. Is it clear? Next one is restoring a virtual machine. That is what we have been discussing, the restoration options. You could see here,
Another one question here.
yeah,
It will be a full backup or an incremental backup for the second and third, backups.
it will be an incremental backup. So the
Okay,
first
meaning
time,
like the changes from that point in time, right?
that's correct.
Okay.
Only the
If you want
changes.
to recover, we can do the recovery to the point in time only, not the full VM backup.
So we can do the full VM backup. Restore can
Mhm.
be done, but while it is taking, no, it will take only the changes, the
No, no.
difference.
Here, my question is: for the past 1 week, the backups were running. The today's backup will be incremented for yesterday's, right? So, a developer asked me for an entire VM backup. Which one I
Hmm.
need to take? The first one which you take, or the current one? The current one will have
Well,
only incremented data, right?
no, it while taking the backup, it will take the changes, but it is capable enough to restore your complete VM.
Oh,
The
okay. The
upgrade,
latest one also VM will be okay. It has full, backup data also, right?
let me show you that so that you'll understand. So if you see the backup jobs right here, I don't have filter mechanism. So backup jobs, I want to see it from a 17th.
Right.
Click on done. So what it will happen from 17th onwards, whatever it happens. So first I configured a backup. I ran the backup manually,
Correct.
right? If I see this data,
Mm-hmm.
so if you could see, this is take a snapshot, it is moved, correct?
Mm.
It is taken complete data. If you could see the latest one, how much data it has taken, backup size,
So MB, yeah.
means I'm not typically doing the operations. No, it is just for
Right.
training purpose.
Right.
It's hardly
Right.
have 1 GB of a data
Correct.
changes. So backup size is only 1 GB. That is the
Correct.
reason you could see the backup operation also will happen pretty much quick. It won't take
Mm-hmm.
much.
Okay.
And the first time you could see 1 hour of a backup time.
Mm-hmm.
Next it's only taken 30 minutes.
30 minutes, right? Because
Okay.
it's incremental data. Okay.
Only the difference what is been
Yeah.
added to the
Correct.
server. That's
Correct.
it.
No, no. If you want to recover, like, for example, if you want to
Recover.
recover
We'll do that.
today,
So
which one I need to select? The latest one, right? Latest VM will be capable
we'll
of
see that.
backing up the entire VM.
Correct. We are seeing it practically also now. So I'm selecting yesterday's 19th of a 5, which is run at midnight IST, 1 o'clock. Okay, I'm going to take a restore points of today midnight, last night, right? 1 a.m. IST. I will recover entire VM. That I will show you right away. Yeah, I'm going to my virtual machine. For example, VM01 I want to restore. Select the VM01. Click on the restore VM. Right? Are you able to see here? Select the restore point. It means, so I have enabled this tracker from 17th. Right? That's why what it is showing here. From a 17th onwards, I could see the dates which are available. Right? So I want to take a backup of today only. Right? Today midnight, 1 a.m. So that this example will suffice our requirement to understand whether it will give me the complete VM. Are you able to see what is the restore configurations we have? Create new. Under create new, again you have two options. One is create new virtual machine out of it, restore the disk. So I'm going to create new virtual machine out of it. For example, so I'm just giving a VM01 restore. So to understand, and I'm just giving the name. Network resource group, you can select it wherever you want to do that. There is no restrictions when it comes to that area. You can select which one ever you want. So I was just selecting the another VNet and the subnet. Staging location, this is what I'm referring. We just need one storage account. It is not to store something. Whenever I was seeing the operation that it will take a snapshot, and snapshot it will move to the backend storage, right? While it is restoration, again it has to take that snapshot from a backend storage and create a virtual machine out of it. So this operation requires somewhere it has to maintain that copy, right? Till the virtual machine is getting created. For that, we'll use this storage account kind of for a staging purpose. Clear? This option refers to how to restore complete virtual machine. Is it clear, guys? If someone is asking you create a VM from the backup, this is the operations you can do. So select a restore type as create new virtual machine. If you want to give a new virtual machine name, let's say you want to give virtual machine a VM10, different resource group, different VNet if at all you need it, click on restore. It will give a new VM out of your existing VM backup. Clear?
Okay, and it will just create as storage everything separately for this the new VM, right? The
Yes,
VNets, everything,
everything.
IP addresses and all with the
Everything.
range we select. Okay.
Everything. So that's what we need to decide which VNet, which subnet. So accordingly, it will create a IP address and all other things.
Okay.
This and everything. But this, it not from a marketplace. This data will come from your backup.
How about storage then? Store, if you want to
What
map, we can map to the existing storage itself, correct?
storage you are
Storage
referring
accounts.
to as a
Storage
disk?
accounts. Disk, correct.
Disk. That is what it will restore. No, because we are taking backup of disk only. When you are
Oh,
getting
it's
a
getting
new VM,
everything new with the new naming conventions. Okay.
let's say here I given as a VM10, no, Chiranjeevi. What will happen? I will get a name with the VM10 here with I defined virtual network and a
Okay.
subnet with a disk. Everything has a new VM memory. There is no difference.
Okay,
But
clear.
this VM is not from a marketplace. This VM came from my existing server of VM01 backup.
Okay.
Whatever the setup and a configuration you might have done in a VM01, you will get it into the VM10.
Okay.
So this is one among the requirement, not only when the server is corrupted, other scenarios when you need to give a similar clone copy out of it. If someone is asking, developers, they have done all the settings, tools, everything they have installed. And another developer came in, instead of bringing in other mission, so let's give him the restore mission so that you don't need to do the configurations again.
Okay.
Clear? So I'm just clicking on
My
restore.
confusion here is, see, when you are creating a copy from A to B, okay, on the A, you're just talking about VM, but whatever running on top of VM, right? That's my question here. For example, when IP address has been changed, the application won't run, right? Because the application will be configured based on the IP. That's how this will be, feasible in the
That's
real-time environment.
That's what Chiranjeevi. So we have restore complete virtual machine. It is a different
Correct,
scenario.
right?
In your scenario that I don't want to change my VM name. I don't want to
Okay.
change my VM IP, but I want to
Okay.
restore it to the 2 days before of a data.
Okay.
Such case, I will go to swap the disks. So in that case, what will happen? My VM 03 will be there as it is, but
Mm-hmm.
this disk will be there. No, this will
Okay.
be get swapped to the backup of 17th data.
Okay. For in scenarios like we need to go to the marketplace and create a separate VM. We need to use this disk swap. Functionality to swap the disk only.
This
Configuration
is
don't
one.
change at the application.
For that, for that, this is the option you need to choose. Replace existing.
Okay.
Replace
Yes.
the disks staging. So what will happen now for my VM 01? If I click on restore, for example, now you could see the AZT20 staging location. I'm set restoration point is today night, right? Last night, 1 o'clock. And if I click on restore, what will happen, guys? My virtual machine 01 disk, right? It will change from the backup which I selected from a restore point. So in this example, what will happen? Your virtual machine name, IP, everything will be as it is, but data alone will be replaced. Your disk alone will be replaced. Clear?
Okay.
It is based on the requirement actually. So new VM you create it when the developer says or a production application guy says that boss my VM is unable to boot at all. I have done some mistakes. I have corrupted this. I couldn't able to make it up. Right? He said 2 days before, can you bring me the copy of my VM? So you can give new VM because it's not going to impact anything. You need to do some changes, if at all. Let's removing IP, changing the IP, and all other stuff, if at all you want to. Right? All the things is quite possible. This option, as I mentioned, it is only creating a new virtual machine. So when I click on it, what will happen? Restore. It will try to create a new VM out of it from a VM 01. Okay. Validation is failing because exhausted number of available. So this is the restoration options, but we couldn't able to do it now. Only reason is I I have already created 4 cores in the same region. Okay, for a free trial. 2 virtual machines I have in as West US2. That's the reason why this has been failed. Let me see the VM 03 backup status. It's still happening. At least if it's the Korea Central, I'm having only one VM so that we can deploy other VM. But you clear, right, how to restore the virtual machine. If you click on restore, what will happen? You will get a new virtual machine out of it. Okay, or else I will show you with the last probably. I will delete one of the VM and then we'll go for restore. Second option is restore only the disk. So this first restoration methods, just park it while a while. We'll see by deleting something so that it will allow us to create one more VM from a backup. So second restore method is restoring a disk. Let's say I'm having a virtual machine and it has a disk. I just want to restore the disks alone, right? I want to create the disk from the backup. So those disks I can attach and use it wherever I want for the purpose I'm saying scenario. If you click on restore, what will happen now? It will try to restore the disks from my backup. We'll see that. So validation is in progress. So where you could see that the operations, what exactly is happening under backup jobs again. You could see here operation as here are you able to see the operation is restore operation has been initiated. You can click on the view details. First step, what it will happen, it will transfer the data from vault, right? You could see the approximate time 1% is completed, transferring the data is in progress. So you could see the typically how much time it requires. So it has been completed, almost 99% is completed. Your transferring the data is complete, because here we are not creating a VM, we are just transferring the data, right? It will last 2 days of a data is pretty much quick, because as part of a policy we created, two snapshots will be maintained for immediate restorations. In a real-time scenario, if you are restoring of last 20 days of a data, it means this will definitely not this much of a quick. It will take some time. The operation is completed successfully. 127 GB of OS disk is been transferred, and this job also is completed. Are you able to see this? It's completed, but there is some warning. There is fine. So where you can validate that the disk has been restored or not, if I just type disks here, you could see 4 disks apart from VM 01, 02, 03. Are you able to see one more disk has been created here? And this disk is not associated, so empty disk. Are you able to see here? It is not been added to unattached disk, because we just restore the disk alone. So this disk can be added wherever you want, and then turn on the VM and then get the data and delete the disk. As simple as that. It is only restoring a disk of your virtual machine from the backup. What is the other option we could see? We can also see the swapping the disks also. All right. Let me go first shut down the server. Let's say VM02. So to swap the disk, right, your virtual machine should be in a shutdown state. Shut down the virtual machine. I'm going back to 27 backup items. I have two virtual machines. I want to swap the disks of second machine VM02. While click on restore VM, what I will do, I will select the restore point as, let's say, from yesterday's 18th of a data. Click on OK. So instead of creating a new VM, what I will do, or a new disk, I'm going to create replace existing. So it means my virtual machine disk, right, will be changed with the data or with the disk content of 18th of a May. Clear? If I click on restore, what will happen, guys? Here, if you see the VM02 disk name, and after the restore, you could see a different name. Ending with 8D, correct? So after our operations, what it will do, click on restore, staging location, I need to select the storage account, click on restore. So what it will happen now, my virtual machine will be there, VM02 as it is, with the same name of computer name VM02, same IP 172.20.4, but the data of a disk will be changed. From today's data will go away. The disk will be replaced from 2 days before, where I want to restore it back. Is that answered your question, Chiranjeevi? Okay, let's see the operation. We have done that. So where you could check the status here, I can go back to my backup jobs. So this restore option is still in progress. This is what just now we triggered in. 5% is completed. So transferring the data from a vault is done. Now what they are doing, they are updating the virtual machine. It means your virtual machine OS disk is being updated. It's in progress. Okay, this operation will be changed. So it won't take much time, because it is not taking much time if you could able to notice that. But when it comes to real time, guys, it will take some time because you will definitely not restore from yesterday or 2 days. It will be below to that. That operation will always take the time. Chiranji, is it answered your question where you don't want to change the IP address, computer name, but still you want to restore?
Yeah, clear.
Okay. Updating the virtual machine is taking some time. So let it get run, that is fine, but you are clear with the operation and the restore method, right? This is restoring a swapping or replacing your disks of your virtual machine. Okay. The next one is file recovery. What is mean by file recovery? I can attach my VM01 disk to my laptop here, and then I will recover the some data, and then I will disconnect it. It means I was recovering the file level. Whichever the file I want, I will just recover it, I will disconnect it. For that, what I can do, I can go back to the vault, click on backup items, Azure virtual machines. So VM01 are able to see, apart from restore a VM, what is the next option you could see here? File recovery. If you click on this file recovery, it will ask you to select when you want to recover it. I was just selecting, let's say, last night, latest one, or yesterday's one, 18. It will ask you to download one executable. Click on download. It will download one executable file along with some password. It won't take much time, maximum in a minute of a time. It is yet to download the script, and the password is generating. Are you able to see here? Generating script and password. Your download will start within a minute. You will require this password to run the script. Okay. Are you able to see? Script is ready. I clicked on download. I'm copying this script password. Just double click on this exe. It will ask you to enter the password. Whatever you just copied from the screen, right? This one. Here you come, click on right click and enter. That's it. It will automatically takes everything. It will ask you the permission, automatically opens up. Again, it will ask, click on enter. It will open up the PowerShell, and it will ask you to click on yes or no. Yes, I want to connect. Are you able to see here? You need to unmount the value before connecting to the new recovery point of VM01. A view detector session is already connected to a recovery point of VM02. I'm just saying yes. It is connecting to recovery point using iSCSI service in the backend. You could see that after some time here we'll be getting a disk will be attached. Okay, this is file level recovery. Let it get disk will be added so that you will get an idea. Connection successful. If I go here, documents, disks, my system is slow to respond. It got stuck. So let it get lowered. Meantime, what we will do, so I'm going to delete this VM02 from this. And we'll also see the complete VM restore, which we haven't seen it, right? Portal.azure.com. This is via VM02 on the disks. So why I'm deleting this VM, guys, to show you the first option of. So I want to delete everything. I don't need any other resources. I'm deleting this virtual machine. So why I'm deleting this virtual machine? If I want to go to my VM01, I want to show you the first option because we haven't seen practically this option, correct? We have seen restoring the disk, we have seen swapping the disk, we have seen the file recovery. We have seen in the sense this is yet to be loaded. Are you able to see the D drive here with the 126 GB? If you could see that this is from Azure, Windows Azure, uses and other stuff. So this is the disk I got it. Let's say I want to take a copy of the Windows Azure. Let's say packages, I want to take a copy, right? I will just right click of this file. If this is the file I want to recover it, right? I can right click, copy this file and wherever I want typically. So I can go here, my C drive if I want, I can paste it here. So what I have just done, guys, I have typically recovered one file from where? From my Azure VM, where I have mapped this wherever I want. In this scenario, I have used my local laptop. Is it clear, guys? How does file recovery works? Any questions? Chiranjeevi, Harsha, Venkat, Siva, able to follow?
Yeah, I'm little confused. Can you explain this file copy again? Like not with the copying command, like in the terms like uh, what all files, like what all. Say for example, we have disk, right? You- What storage we are going to copy here? What type
So
of
that
files? I'm
is
confused.
that's what I'm saying. It depends on your requirement. Let's say you have a VM. Inside a VM, you have some files, right? Obviously, there you are storing something, correct?
Some application related. Okay.
Whatever the data.
Okay.
And
Example. I'm just taking as example. Okay.
example as application data. And that data is good till yesterday. Or 10 days before, your data is good. And today, when you check, the data is not correct.
Mm.
You want to recover the only the specific files alone. You don't need entire VM or entire disk. But if you have the files which is good in condition of 10 days before,
Mm.
so in such cases, what you can do, you can go to the file recovery, add the disk from a 10 days before disk to your local or your server, wherever you run, it will uh,
Mm.
add.
Okay, I have a question here. So, for example, like if you install a Tomcat or like what Apache on a web, I mean like on one of the VM. For
Mhm.
example, okay, you
Mhm.
mean like the file minute level, meaning like the configuration setups of an Apache installables, right?
Yes,
That's what my
yes,
question. Okay,
that's correct.
that's my clear, because when we in the previous example we referred disk, right? Disk is
Correct.
different, so that's what I just want to come to.
Yeah,
Okay,
disk
clear.
is different. It's a file level. There's a
No,
config
meaning
file,
like
for
okay.
example.
Okay. If you want to change the config file, for example, for an Apache which is already running on VM, we can
Yeah,
copy, correct, I mean, again, copy back to the same location and get it corrected. Okay.
that's
Understood.
correct. That's correct. Yeah. These are all four different kinds of restoration methods which we do have. If you want to disconnect, just come to the same screen and then click on disconnect, or else you open the file share and click on queue. It will quit, and after a couple of minutes you could see that your D drive will be no longer will be available. That operation will be initiated and taken care automatically. So here I have deleted this virtual machine because I want to show you the first restore method also. First one we didn't see it, right? So restore a VM. Let's say I want to redo the restoration of yesterday. Here complete create a new VM and this VM name is VM-10. You can select the whichever the virtual network you needed. Click on restore. So in this case, what will happen, guys? It will create a VM from your backup VM of VM01. You could see that new VM10 is going to get created. From where it's getting created? From the backed up virtual machine, not from the marketplace. Okay, validation is happening. If it is passes, it will create a VM out of it. The initially why this validation is failed, because the free trial it does support only 4 cores in a region, and 4 cores I'm used. That's why it didn't able successful. I deleted the VM so that at least we could see that operation. So where you could see the job, what exactly is happening? Backup jobs. This is the restore option. Are able to see one person is completed transferring the data and create the restored virtual machine. 2 operations will happen. I guess if any other things are happening on VM01 still, probably what is this? So VM02, we deleted this VM, so I'm just canceling it. And this one also no more needed because VM itself is not there. We have the VM01 restoration. So if you could see now, transferring from the vault is done and creating the virtual machine is in progress. So where you could see that now, if I go back to the resource group, you could see that. So I was into this resource group services RG, under which you could see the virtual machine -10 is getting created. So now 01 and 03 is there. Post which what will happen, guys? VM-10 will get created from the backup of VM01. Let's see that. Are you able to see VM-10? Guys, it is got created. From where this VM got created? From this restore method. From here, a virtual machine restoration is done. You could see that virtual machine 10 is a running state. It is just created. From where it got created? From the backup of virtual machine. Is it clear, guys, what are the restoration methods we discussed? If someone is asking you to restore a VM, could you able to explain these methods of 4 types without confusion? Venkat, Siva, Harsha, Chiranjeevi,
Yes.
right? So if you understand this concept, no, this is where you can give the confidence to your interviewer for explaining all these details, right? So that could give him a confidence that you have been done all these things. That too, we have performed all the operations practically as part of this session, right? We haven't missed out not even a single option. So we have performed all the virtual machine backup restore options. That is your complete VM restore, restore the disk, swap or replace the disk, file recovery. So we have done all the recovery types. So whatever we have discussed as of today, everything is within a region. This is virtual machine level, you are recovering it. So tomorrow's session, what we will do, we're going to talk about disaster recovery. It means your virtual machines is there in a West US too. Assume that West US entire region, entire Azure data centers are down because of some natural calamities, right? So how we can recover it from a secondary region, right? The disaster part we'll cover it by tomorrow. Okay, guys. Any questions? Okay. If there is no further questions, we'll wind up the session for today and we'll continue from tomorrow same time and we'll talk about disaster recovery. Thank you guys. Thanks for joining in. Have a good day. See you tomorrow.